Welcome to our presentation today, a webinar covering how we can use our skills, gifts, and talents to be able to monetize it, expand the kingdom, make a difference, sustain our mission, message, and cause. If we have some technical glitch, don't worry, we will do a replay on this particular webinar. And I'd like to introduce you to my man, Kimon Hines. Kimon, what up?
Hey, I'm glad to be here, Chance. Thanks for doing this for us. Thanks for sharing the knowledge that you've gathered with those of us on this line.
No, well, we appreciate you. I was on Kimon's podcast a few weeks ago, and so that's how the desire to do this presentation came on. So several folks have inquired and are interested about it. So no problem. We are here to help and we're here to serve. What I want to share today is listen, there are many ways. I'm just trying to open your minds to another way. All right. I'm not here to say this is the only thing that people can do, but I believe, especially when it comes to ministry leaders, that this is an untapped area, an untapped thing that we're going to do. So sorry it had to be so early. Maybe we can do a few more of these so we can get more details in, because we are pressed for time. And we are doing it early in the morning because in the afternoon, Curtis is here. We have a podcast at 2 o'clock that we're going to do. And then in the evening, I have some marriage counseling I have to do as well. So, so the day is packed. So that's why we push it for this morning. But before we get into how, I know many people want to know the how, okay? But we have to first know what and especially why. Why are we doing it this way? Why is this important, okay? So again, Kimon, if you can, whenever you're ready with some of the key questions, we're going to bring it in. But let me first bring up a little presentation and spend about 15 minutes or so going over part of the big picture of why, and then we're going to go into the what and then how to. I know you guys want to know more of the how to, but without understanding of why, we wouldn't be able to miss it, okay? So let me see if I can share my screen here. Let me know if you see my screen, Kimon.
Okay.
I'm going to switch over to screen share. All right, guys, so let's go. What are we going to learn today? We're going to learn about how ministry leaders and professionals of faith can leverage their gifts and talents to create extra income and expand the kingdom. All right, I'm going to share with you what I believe are the pivotal 3 E's to monetizing our acres of diamond. I think that this is a strategy to sustain your mission, message, or cause. And if anything, if you don't get anything else, grab this one thing from today's webinar. There is this one thing that you can have an edge over all other ministry leaders and professionals who are neglecting this. I believe that this one thing will be able to help us to be able to present ourselves, especially outside the walls of the church and ministry, and then how to attract the key people to get support that you need, right? So just a bit overview, who am I, right? I don't like to talk about accolades and so forth, but for the sake of some who might be new on this podcast, I mean this webinar, these are just some of the things here. So I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a #1 best-selling author, speaker, pastor, and lifestyle coach as well. I'm involved in a lot of community outreach. We have done health lectures as well, both at my church with Genesis Lifestyle Education Center, not Medical Center. Here where we are, we teach people about how to be well, not only spiritually, but physically as well, and have done a lot of appearances on different TV networks and so forth. So that's a little bit about me. Of course, I have my lovely wife. I call her my BMW, my beautiful, marvelous wife, right up in the right-hand side there. That's our son, Joel. Okay, so just a little bit here. I published 7 books and I promoted back to back. My last 5 books that I published became #1 bestsellers on Amazon. Here's one that I did for military veterans. Okay, I'm a veteran, so I wanted to produce this work for a while, but I did this. Actually, this was my first co-authored project. But this book, actually, you won't believe it, I produced this book in 1 hour. And here's another one I just did not too long ago as well. Prayers That Move Heaven, which debuted #1 in several different categories. And so that's what I want to share with you as well. This one was for my son's first birthday. And I had actually did this as a fun project, really, not intending to publish it. But since I had done it, I'm like, hey, why not be able to publish it? So I just did and launched it to #1 bestseller on Amazon. My most recent publication, which is really, really something that has struck a chord And that's what we're going to talk about today is monetize your skills. I launched this year, March 27th. And so this became a #1 bestseller in over 15 different categories and in different countries as well. And so I think that this today truly is something that I'm so glad that I've discovered. And this is what I'm spending a lot of time now teaching others from different walks of life and different backgrounds. Matter of fact, on the 27th of this month, I'll be sharing also at a local business seminar for local business leaders on how they can do the same thing. So this is it. Monetize your skills, how to leverage your education, expertise, and experiences into a potential 6-figure income. And the big why is so you can make a lasting impact, fund your dream. And especially for folks like you and I, we want to be able to sustain our mission, messages, and cause that God has given us. So this came about, of course, I've been delving back and forth with online marketing and stuff like that for a few years, but got serious about 2010, 11 when I made my first $1,000 on the internet. And so from since I've been studying a lot of people. And actually, I completed a master's degree in project management. And instead of doing a thesis, I did a project on the very same thing. So I've studied and researched now over 110 regular average people. These are not like big name folks, but the regular people who are making 6 and 7 figures from leveraging their education, expertise, and experiences. And that's what I want to share with you. So here I am with Adam Ginsberg on the left. He's an internet millionaire. Anything and everything pertaining to Amazon and eBay, this guy is the expert. Many of you may know Willie Jolly. He's in the middle right here. So I met Willie Jolly at one of his seminars. And you know, he's one of the top speakers in the world. And to the right, Dr. Clarice Fluid, who actually is in the space that many of us are in. She's a ministry leader. But when she got out of ministry, she went into speaking. And now she makes 7 figures a year by coaching and training people. And plus, she does pretty much what we're doing now. For example, this is free, right? But she charges people to come on webinars and teleseminars as well. And so we'll dive into that. So let me ask you a question. What do these people have in common, right? You know, Tony Robbins, you know, John Maxwell, these are all leaders out there. What do they have in common and how and why do we know about them? Many people kind of focus on the outcomes of people. I focus on what goes into them, right? So let me just share with you a few others. Rick Warren, again, he's a pastor. He's in the ministry space. Some of you might know Lisa Nichols, Susie Orman, Les Brown, the big dog, the kingpin right here. The very first book that I've read on personal development was by Les Brown back in the military. Now, what do they all have in common? I think you kind of guessed it already, but if you didn't, this is going to be one of those aha moments, right? If you look at Tony Robbins, notice what's on this page. Tony Robbins has a lot of books, and that's how many people are introduced to Tony Robbins. Not only that, but if you notice, along with those books, similar to the same books, he has speaking events, coaching events, products, and programs where people can come and learn more. And so based on the closer access you get to Tony is the more you will pay. All right, we'll talk a little bit more. Same thing, John Maxwell, right? I mean, if you're into leadership, if you are any kind of serious professional today, you have to have read one book by John Maxwell. But again, notice John Maxwell has books, program, events, and all of those things, and they're generally tied to his book. You get in the picture. Susie Orman, the same thing, right? Again, one of the first books I really read about money and wealth had to do with Susie Orman way back in military days, right? Again, Les Brown, my man, I love Les Brown. Anything Les Brown writes and speaks, I mean, this guy is so powerful, right? But even after 42 years, after 20-something years, Les Brown just wrote another new book called The Laws of Success, right? Which I have the book, and he has an online course, and I have the course as well. Here we have Les Brown. Why is Les Brown financially free and successful? Because Les Brown, my friends, has books and CDs and DVDs and coaching programs and certification programs. And this is what I'm saying. Are you guys seeing it? Are you leaving, are you leveraging your acres of diamond? Are you leaving money on the table, my friends? So this is paradigm shift. This is a new opportunity that is on the horizon. So you and I can take advantage because the internet technology has now leveraged the playing field. So you and I can be able to make a difference. Check this out. Warren Buffett just recently, okay, this is a new article this year, dumped $900 million worth of stocks from Walmart because, again, he has predicted that Amazon is the kingpin. Because do you realize right now that Amazon is worth 356 billion compared to Walmart, that has been a traditional brick and mortar company, and now they only are 298. Furthermore, in 2015, Walmart only did 13.7 billion online, and look at what Amazon did, right? I mean, you look at that, almost 10 times the amount. Okay, now I'm telling you, check this out again. The retail apocalypse has finally and officially descended on America. I don't know about you, but even locally right now, a JCPenney is closing, and it's also predicted that this year, 2017, 3,500 stores are going to be closed, retail stores. Many of them are going out of business, but most of them are actually reshifting their business model to take advantage of the online opportunity, because the online now has leveraged the playing field, so all of us can get our message and mission out there to many other people. Now, here's an interesting thing that I've noticed is, again, Global Insight, they have said that e-learning market was valued at 165 billion in 2015, but they expect between the next 5 years to have a 5% consistent growth, right? Exceeding over $240 billion. Now, that's an industry. Now, think about it, brothers. What university today is not online, right? I mean, my advanced degrees have all been completed online. I mean, you think about it. Even Harvard has one course that's over 100,000 people enrolled. Do you think that those people can fit on Harvard's campus? No way. But this is an opportunity. This is a growing trend. It's no turning back. This allows you and me now to position ourselves and get a small corner of this market. Check this out as well. LinkedIn bought out Lynda. You probably might have seen this a few years ago, right? Actually, this is 2015, 2014 news. But nonetheless, they were bought out for 1.5 billion. Now, Lynda is an education platform where anybody can put any course. And I'm not talking about college courses. I'm talking about courses in anything. $1.5 billion deal. Don't you think that LinkedIn was aware that this trend is happening? Not only that, but according to Forbes again, the online industry, this was 2015 now, they predicted that it's 107 billion. Now today, I mean, that's almost double that. Okay, here's some of the platforms where you can find courses. Average people, Joe and James, taking their knowledge, their expertise and experiences and monetizing them online. While you and I, some of us on this thing, we have doctorates, we have masters, we have all kind of experience and expertise, and we just sitting down and we wondering why others who don't even have the same pedigree or credentials that we do, they're able to monetize their skills. Why is that? Because they're taking advantage of the opportunity and the paradigm shift while we remain in the traditional models, right? So you have Udemy, Zenla, Teachable, Kajabi, Skillshare, Lynda.com. I mean, many of these are free. You can put your courses up on here for free. Even Oprah. Now, if Oprah is tapping into this thing, then I'm telling you, it's legit and it's not slowing down. I mean, you got Steve Harvey, you have Sean Aker, you have Ariana Huffington, Brendan Burchard. I mean, all of these people are now putting up courses on Oprah. Oprah created her own live classes where she now have different people. Again, most of them are big dogs though, but we're going to share with you in a moment regular people who are doing the very same thing. Now look at this, Dr. Amy Myers. So are you seeing the pattern here? It doesn't matter what your background, what your position is. You can be a pastor, you can be a doctor, you can be a teacher, you can be a student, anybody, and be able to do the very same thing. But do you see why they're able to make so much money and why they're able to have mass followings? Is because their books and courses and products position them as authority and leaders in the marketplace. So here's Dr. Amy Myers. Now, again, she's a doctor. Why does she need to have these things? Again, doctors too want to have freedom, time freedom, location freedom. Doctors to have mission and causes outside of their practice. So here we have a lawyer now, Nick Nanton, right? Who is a lawyer, but now he's leveraging again the online internet and technological platforms to be able to push his message. But are you seeing a picture? Every last one of these leaders that we follow, they all have a book, they all have a program, they all have courses and so forth. What do you have? I mean, I gotta say it kind of powerfully, right? So you guys can feel it, but I'm not mad. I'm just excited, right? Now you have also here Michael Hyatt. Michael Hyatt has both courses and books, right? He has a book called Platform, which I actually own. By the way, this is a book that everybody on this webinar, go ahead and buy this, get this book right now, because you need to learn how to grow your platform. But then he took that same book, Platform, and now he has created an online course about the very same thing. It's a membership site. I think people pay like $30 a month for this. But think about that. So he has income from the book, but now he has even a bigger movement from people who are paying him consistently each and every month, right? The book only might cost 10 to 15 bucks, but now the course is $30 every single month, month in and month out, right? Multiply the effect of the book, right? I want you to say, do you guys think that this is important, right? Put it in the check there. Put it in the chat so my man Kimon can check them out in a moment. Again, write your question. Does this make sense, guys? Does this make sense to you guys? Does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense? Give me a yes if this makes sense to you so far. Now, let's talk about the money. Here I am as well. I've put up here 3 courses that are, again, if you notice, the middle course is based on my book, Prayers That Move Heaven, right? So about a year or 2 ago, I didn't publish any books at all for that year, because I figured I already created these books. Why can't I now turn them into products and programs and further leverage them? So I've published, like I said, and turn around 5 best-selling books, right, back to back. And so I'm figuring, okay, why don't I teach people how to become a #1 best-selling author as well, right? And then how to publish a book and a course. And I tell people how to do this in about 7 weeks. Now, I've had students who have done it way faster than that I'm going to share with you in a moment. But I also have done it, like I said, my first book took 5 years. Then my second and third book took 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. And then I've got it down to now where, again, like I said, even one hour, I've published a book in 1 hour and in one night. Right? I produce these things because I've learned, right? I spent a whole lot of money and to be able to learn these simple strategies, because again, it's what we don't know that might be killing us. But here's another one, Neil Nedley, right? Some of you know Neil Nedley. Well, Neil Nedley, even though again, he's a doctor, but he has all these books and programs and courses based on his knowledge. That's him monetizing his knowledge again. You can do the very same thing. He even and I just bought several of these for two of my churches. Each of them have some of his programs. I bought some of his programs for myself, and then next year I'm going to take one of his certification courses here as well for $400. So again, Neil Nedley is going to be making almost over $1,000 from me just like that. And again, how many more people has he been able to help, and they've paid him thousands of dollars, right? Here you might have known this guy again, Dr. Roland Hill. Now, Roland Hill just created a course as well, and I'm glad to see someone like him, even though he's down there, he's an old school brother, but guess what? He's figured it out. And now he's offering a course where he's teaching people how to preach. My conference, the church organization that I belong to, send this out to all of our pastors. Now, look at this. If he's selling this course, let's just say $500, it's $599. But again, if you wanted to make an extra $2,000 a month to be able to help take care of your bills, all you would need is four of these to be sold, right? 4 of these in a month, bam, you got $2,000. Again, you just multiply if you want to go up. What if you were able to sell 10? What if you just keep going? That's how the number works. Now, here's another course. One of my friends that I follow, that I'm in a publishing group with him, he just created this course again. He's a U.S. Marine Corps veteran pilot, and he created this course called Consult and Profit. Now, this course is $2,000. Now, imagine if he sold in 1 year, even if you take 2 years and sold just 1,000 of this course, that's $1.9 million. And let me tell you, I know I've got to give you the big picture so you can see the why and what's possible. Okay, everybody's not going to do it. We're not making income claims, but we're showing you what is possible. Now, every time these guys launch this course, it always does over $1 million. Here's another one, Publish and Profit. I'm actually in this course. It is in this course that I learned a lot of what I know and to produce my books. Like I said, my first 3 books, they didn't become #1 bestsellers because I didn't know. But when I took this course, like what I'm saying, based on what I learned from this, now every subsequent book that I've published became a #1 bestseller from the simple strategies I learned from this. But check this out. This is a $4,000 course, right? That you can be certified even. And now when these guys produce this course and publish and launch it right to their tribe and leverage it with other people helping them out, they do over $1 million again. Now think about this. If you had 1 full year, you even hire college students, you have some church members, you have people in your ministry team, they can go out and share it. You share the revenue with them. But I'm just saying, if you sold 1,000 of this in 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4 years, it doesn't matter. You can make what? $3.9 million. Are you leaving money on the table, my friend? So again, my mission again is what? To educate, equip, and empower ministry leaders and ministry professionals and entrepreneurs, small business owners to monetize their skills so they can make a lasting impact for the kingdom and sustain their mission and message. That's what I've done with my books. It's what has helped me to be able to make my first dollar, my first $10, my first $100, and $1,000 and even $10,000 online. Again, all automated because I took the time over the years to be able to create these books. Now I'm turning them into courses, and I'm going to show you one model that is, again, it's not, I'm not trying to tell you just publish a book. What I'm giving you is a tangible framework, a platform, a system, a process to be able to actually create what you would call a business, self-supporting work, whatever you call it. Different people might look at it differently, right? Do you know that nearly half of Americans in the middle class could not even find $400 for an emergency? This is according to a survey that appeared in the Atlantic magazine, right? Where it's a government survey that was done. Right? When asked how respondents would pay for a $400 emergency, 47% responded that they'd either have to borrow it or sell something because they would not be able to come up with $400. Now, if you think of this, this means that many of the people in your congregation or in your ministry or related to what you're doing, they're struggling. And so if the only way we can sustain our mission is through donations, then obviously people have to make a choice between supporting us and supporting their own home. But if we would leverage our own skills and teach others how to leverage their own, then I believe then we can be able to have more funds to do the work. Because the reality is people are broke, man. And so donations alone is not going to cut it. We can have a system to make a potential 6 figures a year, start your own ministry, maybe even launch a new career if you want to, like I'm going to share with you. Take a sabbatical, travel the world, go on mission trips, right? And these are the big things that I'm concerned about, right? Give more to your church or favorite charity, send your kids to school, pay off your parents' mortgage. These are all worthy ideas. And so these are the type of things, right? Ministry is free to the recipient, charity is free, but it costs money to operate and sustain, right? Now, not everyone can be paid to do missions or ministry, right? But I believe everyone can be self-sustaining. And I'm going to wrap it up here for a while. But what I want to share with you is something, because many of you on here are ministry leaders or connected with causes that are passion and about your heart. So check this out. I want to bring to you somebody, the Apostle Paul. This brother was a scholar. He was a preacher. He was a visionary. He was a church planter. He was an elder. He was a tent maker. He was a self-supporting missionary, right? These are the scriptures where he commanded folk to labor and work with your hands. Today, we would say, use your mind, your brain, your talents, whatever God has given to you. Now, Paul was a man who could have been supported by his system, his organization, let some of you, your church or your mission, your ministry or nonprofit. But he was saying, listen, I have a right to be supported that way. But he said, listen, I took my own hands. And this brother, what he would do, he would create tent on the side, and he would be able to get money to be able to support his ministry and his mission, right? Now, of course, he got donations and stuff too, but check this out. Here's a quotation that I love. It says, Paul, right? Paul shared his earnings with Luke, right? Remember Luke? Luke is the one who wrote the book of Luke and Acts. And he helped Timothy to obtain what? Equipment to do his ministry for his journey. So Paul was able to have extra money so he can what? Help people in ministry get equipment, tools. Today, right now, do you want to help build a church? Do you want to help pay off your mortgage? That's what I'm doing with my church right now. When I came here, they still had many years to pay on their mortgage. And, it was over 170,000. Now we on the $69,000 because we're using some of these systems and strategies to be able to help pay off our church mortgage. So these are some of the calls that we have. Again, he illustrated in a practical way what might be done by consecrated laymen in many places where the people were unacquainted with the truth of the gospel. His course inspired many humble toilers with a desire to do what they could to advance the cause of God, while at the same time, they supported themselves in daily labor, right? So they supported themselves because they were able to use their skills to be able to make some extra income. That's how we would apply that today. So today, again, you have these big ministries. You look at Secret Unseal's Amazing Facts. Now, they do receive a large amount of donation, but that's not the only way. If you notice, they all have what? DVDs and books and these type of things. And that, because I get the yearly, the annual report, the financial report from these ministry, and I always look at how else are they making money, because it's not only through donations. They also have products and so forth. And here are several different categories again. You have Dave Westbrook. his focus is how to help people to live in the country. He created a website, a membership site called, which is an online course pretty much, Country Living University. When he first unveiled that, it was $284 to access that course. Now he charges a monthly retainer where it is, I think it's $25 a month. But he also has books. Dr. Linda Carney as well. I have bought several of her videos, this whole package that you see on the screen, right? So she has a website called Vegivore, but these are all DVDs that you can buy physically, but you can also get them streaming live on Vimeo. Again, she takes her knowledge and expertise and she packages them into a product, a video, and others can be able to see them, right? Ivor Myers. Here's another brother, Paul Deisinger with Born to Grow, right? He created this Born to Grow University. And people pay again every single month. So you see, it doesn't matter what your skill is. He's into gardening, right? Dr. Linda Carney, of course, is dealing with vegetarian, vegan diet kind of thing. This man over here is dealing with country living. Ivor Myers is pretty much teaching a lot of different things, right? But he teaches, he breaks down the word in a unique way, but they all package their stuff, guys. That's what I'm saying. So we need modern tent making skills. So today we don't just say you're a medical missionary. Today we say you're a health coach. So here are some of the things you can do to use your skills and your education to be able to produce products and services. Author, speaker, coach, consultant, blogger, vlogger, podcaster, email marketer. You can teach, you can train, you can freelance, you can do e-commerce, you can advertise, which, by the way, is very powerful, right? And these are things you can teach to other people. You don't have to do them all, but these are all potential six-figure skills today. These are things that the school is not teaching you. And that's what, because the school is not on there, right? You don't go to school today and get a degree in Facebook advertising, right? But here's the thing. You can take a quick course and learn it in a few days or weeks. Just day before yesterday, I have several courses already, but I just bought a course from a gentleman that costs $197, and it's called Facebook Marketing for Church. Look at that. Facebook Marketing for Church, because I have two churches. And I know they're not using these things. And even though I use them for my own, they still don't see it. So now I figure, okay, maybe if I get something that's specifically related to churches, maybe they'll get to listen, right? But again, that's $197. How many people has he sold? Brothers, oh, come on. You guys are seeing? So this is what my six-figure blueprint monetize your skills is truly all about. And I'm going to share with you some people who have done it. But let's take some questions right now before we go any further.
Man, appreciate what you just shared here, the inspiration. And anyone who's on the chat, anyone who's listening, you can feel free to drop your questions. Myron has put quite a few up so far, and so we're going to take those. It says, when it comes to content sharing online, what should be free and what should not? And he kind of connects that with something else. He talks about Michael Hyatt gives away a lot for free. So he's trying to figure out how to balance giving away things for free with selling.
Okay, so yeah, you need a delicate balance. What I would say is your blog and so forth. Like I have a blog as well as Strategic Secrets. So that's free content, but it pulls people in. So technically, he's really not giving away free. Again, nothing is totally free, because when you go to his blog, what you would notice is that he has a lot of products and programs there. So yeah, you give away free content like articles, blog posts, these kind of thing, podcasts like Kimon does. Those are for free. But what you do is you use them to bring people in, to educate them and let them know what you're doing beforehand, so they know what your products and programs are. And so that's how you give away for free. But your books, you don't have to give them away for free, although that's a strategy as well that we go through, because in the beginning phases, you might want to give away your book for free so you can collect people's emails, so you can keep following up with them, or just to be able to help with, achieving bestseller status on Amazon. So I use that strategy first, where again, 99 cents is the new free too. So we use it for when I launch a book. That's part of what I do. I would make it available, the ebook, not the print one, but the ebook, I would make it available for a few days or maybe a week or two for 99 cents. So most people will be willing to get it right away. And then once you start gaining momentum on Amazon, then I raise the price back to regular price. So give away as much as you can for free, but in blog posts, articles, emails, and your whatever newsletter you have, that's the free. But on your website, when they come there, because they came for free, you should have on the side, hey, buy my book, like Michael Hyatt. You see how he does? You get your stuff on the side there, and people can buy them as well.
So the stuff that's free, some of it is free, and I think you have, you probably need some headphones. The stuff that's free, is supposed to get people to mostly to sign up for what you have so they can be linked into your system. And some of it is simply to help people so that they can begin to build trust in you for the things that you're
Yes.
selling later on.
Exactly. But here's a strategy. It's twofold. Again, if you go on my website, strategicsecrets.com, and just pull up any of the blog posts, you will see a combination. Same thing with Michael Hyatt. When you read the blog post, let's say you are blogging about how to preach effectively, right? So you post an article on how to do that effectively. Then at the end or in the middle of the article, you can have, hey, by the way, if you want the course or if you want XYZ to do it, then you can buy it. So sometimes I embed within a blog post an opportunity to buy. Michael Hyatt does the same thing.
So, and you know, just from Michael Hyatt and others, you're blogging about things that you have built a skill in, and you've built a product, or you have a book on, or you have some specialty in, so that your blog is introducing people to your specialty and also pointing them to what you're able to offer them if they want to go. Okay.
So that's correct. And also in your emails, when I get an email from Michael Hyatt, and which I do as well, when you send out an email, at the end of it, your signature line. Notice Michael Hyatt normally says, I am the author of XYZ. He normally lists 2 books, but when you click on that link, it takes you straight to Amazon to buy his book. So he's sending out an email updated, but some people might want to check out the signature. So normally he would have something like Michael Hyatt when he's closing out, right? The end. I'm talking about the end of the email. Michael Hyatt, author of Forward or author of Platform University or something. And then when you click on that, you go and actually buy the book. So that's another form of selling without selling.
Okay. Let me take another question. This is coming from Donald. And then I'll come back to some of the other ones that I've seen. So I'm not missing any. Donald's question is, what should our first books look like? Meaning, should they be a short how-to or what? So kind of give us, someone's hearing this, they're trying to get their first book out. What should their first book look like? Length, format, etc.
All right, so three things on that. Number one is your book can be as long or short as you want it to be. It's up to you. But I would say start out with a short thing because it gets you publishing quickly. And I'm going to share with you like 5 of my people that I've helped doing that. So start with a short one. But also you have different genre. You have your passion books or money books. For example, my first book right here. This is my personal testimony, right? My conversion story, how I found God in the military. I would say how I got serious about God because I did grow up in a Christian home. But this book was just about my passion. I had no idea on making money from it. I still don't because I just really give this away to people when I speak at churches and different things. So that's my personal testimony. It's about 144 pages. Then I have this shorter one, which was my second book. This is a very small book. Quick read, you can read it in like 2 hours, right? It's called The Certainty of God's Promises. So this one is 54 pages. Then I have my third book right here. How many pages? This should be an ideal. Between 112 to 124 pages. People don't like to read today, guys. That's why you have to turn your books now into audio, video products, and courses. Take the same information because they are now more into the audio visual. But again, there's some people who want big ones, or if you have a big book, make it into 2 or 3 books. Okay, I'll share with you on that in a second. So this is my other book here. This is about, again, 112. So what you want to aim for, I would say between 100 to 144-ish or 124. That's good to start for a how-to book because what you're doing, you give the people the how-to, and then you kind of lead them to your course so that they can go more in depth, right? My latest book, Monetize Your Skills, is my biggest book because, again, it has a lot of research and interviews and stuff forth in there. So this one is 272 pages. So I would say start with a small book. If you want to do passion book, like passion book is stuff like you want to share your testimony, a story, those type of things. Now they may not sell as well because it's passion. So I'm saying these books here are all about making money. My other books that when it comes to ministry and faith, I pretty much give them away for free. I do it at networking events and at churches when I speak. But for my church, I have a different philosophy. I don't sell at all to my church members. You don't have to subscribe to that. But I know today when pastors deal with making money, it's a big drama. So I don't sell at all to my church, none of this stuff. But I do give them away when I get on the pulpit every week. I generally give away a book. And that's a good thing because when you now Imagine visitors coming to your church and you the pastor and you give them your book. It's like, oh, my pastor is an author too,
Okay.
especially newcomers. They feel like, wow. So that's the kind of, your book gives you credibility. Your book gives you instant celebrity status, not in a big-headed way, but I'm just saying, as a professional today, you
Okay.
need to differentiate yourself by having a book. And furthermore, when you're an author, a published author, and then a best-selling published author, it's on a whole nother level. So you automatically command that kind of respect. Because today, fortunately, authors are still seen on a high level. So I would say publish the fastest book you can. And if that has to mean anything above 20 pages, I would say at least publish it so you can at least get one out. Because once you get it out, you are a published author. And you
Okay.
just go from there with the rest and you can do more.
Yeah. And I've heard you say that books are like a business card in today's world where
Yes,
people
sir.
almost, it gives you a certain status, a certain visibility that allows you then to share the other things that you have. So that's a good question, Donald, that you posted there. Yeah, let me get this one from him. He says the people that you mentioned, Michael Hyatt and some of the others, do their products position them or their persona? What comes first? Is it that they had a persona? For instance, TD Jakes, he has a persona, international speaker, and then you see his products, so they get sold. Or does it happen where someone has products and it helps them to grow a certain persona online?
Both. So because they already have a persona, if you have the persona, it's great. But here's the thing: a persona without a product is nothing because you have to monetize it. So that's what you see with these guys because they didn't know about these things until they start, parlaying with other people who have books and products. So if you have the persona, now you need the book. But for the regular average Joe and Jane, it's their product, the book, that has to position them so that they can be able to now get out there because your book will, remember, the book gives you the credibility and those type of things and celebrity status. So you use that. For example, I started going to networking events in my local community, right? And like I told you, I didn't carry no business card. I carry my book. They don't know me from Adam. But because I had my books and because, for example, I am doing a seminar, like I said, on the 27th of this month for business leaders, right? How did they put me to speak on there? Because the one of the guys who was on the board for that organization, who is the director of education, he got a copy of this book and he shared it with his board, and they all voted, hey, no, we need, this is exactly what we need. So that's what I'm talking about. Your book positions you to be able to be that expert, because again, it's not even just your academics anymore. If you and I, we have the same degree, for example, and somebody's booking us to speak about monetizing your skills, okay? I come in with the textbook on monetize your skills and we have the same degree. Who you think they're going to hire for the speaking gig? Me, most likely, because you are going to theorize, but they're saying this man has a book and furthermore, he has a course. Hey, I'm going to hire this guy because he's the expert. So the
Okay.
book gives you expert status immediately. And so that's what you can now begin to leverage to grow your platform.
All right. Seth is asking this question, and there were some others coming up here. What's the first step we need to do to get started? So the people listening to this this webinar, we're excited, we're fired up. We say we close this computer or we shut this program down. What's the first thing we should do when we get off?
The first thing you should do is okay, I'm going to try to tie this in with Myron's question about narrowing down to the one thing, right? Because you're right, we have a lot of knowledge. So what I would say is, what's the MVP, your minimum viable product that you can produce tomorrow? So Seth, I would say, listen, what's the fastest thing that you can do that you are most passionate about that will be a blessing to people, and go and write about that. Go and outline that. Okay, for example, I'm just taking something off my head here. Let's say the 7 things every preacher needs to know about preaching powerful, spirit-filled messages. Now, that's a mouthful, right? Okay, number 1, you need to be a man or woman of prayer. Number 2, you need to be able to learn to rightly, divide the word of truth. Number 3, you should be able to spend a minimum of whatever hours of sermon preparation every week. No, I think Myron actually posted something on that not too long ago. But you find those 7 critical things that everybody needs to know, and then now you write a book about that. and that means the fastest and easiest thing that you can produce that will be of value to others, but you don't got to go research. You like, I can just talk about, like, again, lifestyle changes. I mean, at our church, we are doing we do lifestyle education every single Thursday, but I don't even have to necessarily prepare on this thing because I speak about what I know. So the same thing with my book. This book is the only book that has so much research because I did it also as a master's project. But at the same time, what I do is I actually speak from what I know. And that's how my sermons are powerful and effective as well. I don't do a lot of reviews because I ask God to give me a message that's from my heart, that has touched my heart, and from your devotional life. Those are the things that come out easier. So when I speak, even if I don't have notes, man, it just flows. And those are the things where I find that people say they're more blessed. But when I have to go and research for too long and so forth, it just doesn't come out the same way.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. How do I sell one-on-one coaching?
One-on-one coaching. Okay, so this is great. Okay, I have a slide somewhere. I want to reserve at least 10 more minutes to go back to my PowerPoint. But one-on-one coaching is similar to. Okay, let me give you a big overview. Then I give you the slide so you have a visual. So here's what I do. Myron. So Monetize Your Skills is first a book that brings people in and it pre-qualifies and educates them about what I'm doing about Monetize Your Skills. Then for those who want to take the next step, I have an online course that they can learn on their own. But then now there's some now because they've learned, they like what you have, now they want coaching with me. So I also coach on the very same thing with people and I charge like $1,000 for that. Then if they want me to do the work,
that's a one-on-one. This about the coaching.
Yeah. Okay. And it depends. Yeah, it depends on how in depth. But just for the basics of knowing how to monetize and leverage their skills. But then now, when they want more of that, we do consulting / do it for you or do it with you. Like I'm coaching a young lady right now how to write her book, and we started. I give them a 100-day challenge in my course. I give people to publish their book in 100 days minimum because again, you got to set a time. If you just keep spending forever, you'll never get it published. So I say a minimum of 100 days. And so she's done. The book has been out now since, when is that? Friday. We published it on Friday. So she started April 11th. Now she has a book totally from scratch. 88 days she completed it. So now we are actually promoting her book. So then now the next level after the book, the course, one-on-one, then do it for you and do it with you services. That's where now you can charge from $1,000 all the way to $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, right? And if you go on my website, you will see where I'm charging again from $997 all the way to $10,000 for done with you. When I'm doing it with the individual or doing it for them, I just get the stuff and I just get it done for them. So another way is really, like I said, you go into your, matter of fact, here's another good thing. You can actually go into your phone right now and say, who would need my one-on-one services? And just send them a message. Hey, by the way, I'd like to jump on a call with you and share with you what I have. And that way you might have some people who will be able to do one-on-one. So you can also create a Facebook ad. Facebook ads are cheap. You will go now and create a Facebook ad and you can target with a video or with images the people that you want to reach. Facebook targeting is, man, it is so powerful. So that's another way to market we talk about at another time. But you can go on Facebook, run some ads to target exactly the kind of people who want your one-on-one services. Interestingly, like I said, I've changed my avatar, right, for this because it used to be, of course, we want to reach everybody, but you're not called to reach everybody. You attract the perfect client. For example, I'm very specific on this, how to make six-figure income. So people who have a problem with money, I don't want them. People who have an issue about, pastors making money, ministry, hey, I don't want you. That's why I put that on there. That's to weed those kind of people out. So the most focused and specific you are, again, if you're in health and you say how to lose weight, in 3 weeks, something like that, you're attracting a certain kind of people with the more narrow and focused you are. In this book, again, I go through 7 steps to be able to do all that. The first one is how to identify your ideal customer or client or the people that you want to work with. So being focused on who you call to also weeds out who you're not called to. And that's a problem we have in ministry too. We try to reach everybody. But you know what? The reality is that's why there are multiple churches, multiple pastors, multiple messages that people can, relate to, because I cannot reach everybody, brother. I speak to a certain clientele better than I do other people. And so when I preach, I don't even ask myself if that touch everybody. It ain't gonna touch everybody, but I know it touched somebody. That's the people I want to connect with.
That's good, because I think some of us we're in the comparison trap, and so we look at someone else doing it. We think we can't do it like them. We won't be able to reach everyone they're reaching. And in the meanwhile, there are people who we can reach that we haven't started
Yeah,
because we're comparing to
yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, Myron asked a question here. I see Myron. Myron is asking all the questions. So he says, ghost writing. Okay, yeah, you can do ghost writing. Ghost writing is generally more expensive. But you can hire a ghost writer. And here's another thing. If you have the skills, why don't you be a ghost writer? Because that's
Mhm.
another way to make money, right? So, for example, I write blog posts and articles for people as well. I even ask people to do that for me. Like there was a sister at Oakwood. She has a master's in public health. She's a nutritionist. And so my wife and I were at one point running a little blog on health. And so she did like 10 articles for me. And we paid her like almost $500 to do all those articles for us. So that's another way. But ghostwriting, yes, you can do ghostwriting. Personally, I want to write my own books. I want my voice to be my own voice. That's another thing with editing. I only let my editor do stuff for grammar, reading, and flow. But they don't change my voice at all. Matter of fact, I tell them, even when you make a change, let me accept the change, because I make sure I want my voice to be preserved. Because when you hear me, that I write the way I speak. Right? Today's world, I mean, yes, there's some of us who are very academic, professional, that kind of way. That's cool. But you know what? People want authenticity and the real you. So when I write my books, it's going to be like if you're talking to me. And so that's why I
All right.
like writing my own stuff, because I want to preserve my voice and my message.
Yeah. Now there's some questions coming in from pastors. Um, and this is a real question. Pastors are on here. They're very busy, and they want to make sure that they are diligent to their job of being a pastor. So they're asking, how much time are you devoting to this? And kind of give us an outlay of what days you work on your business while pastoring a church.
No, that's an interesting thing. Again, we can deal with mindsets. For me, I look at it all as ministry. To me, there's no separation between when you're ministering in a congregation or ministering to the community. I mean, just the other day, there are three pastors here. We went to one of our members, their business, and we prayed for that business. We prayed over their business. I don't see a distinction. That's me personally. But I understand what you're saying. So here's what I would say. You use outsourcing. I don't design my book covers. I don't lay out the book. I just produce it, because, again, I produce from stuff that in my mind. So, and that comes very swiftly. Again, it takes work. But for me, like I said, I can produce a book very swiftly, because, I can go back to my notes. By the way, if you notice T.D. Jakes and all these people producing a lot of books, you know how they produce those books very fast? This is a tip. Someone takes all their sermon notes and they compile them and they make an outline and produce their books.
Yeah.
So you already have a book. So in other words, my book on prayer, this book, where is it? The book on prayer that I have back here. This book on prayer, this was a class that I took, and I had 29 pages worth of notes on prayer. And that's exactly what I turned into a book. I took that course in 2009, right? And I produced this book in 2015? Yes, 2015. So I just went and added on there. So you see what I'm saying? If you have a dissertation, you can turn your dissertation. My first 3 books were actually based on dissertation work. If you have a master's project, whatever, you can turn that, so you don't need to have a lot of time. So like most of you guys, generally, free day is Monday, right? I generally have a little time on Tuesdays as well. Wednesdays all church. I don't do anything at all, outside that. Thursday, I'm at church as well. And then I do a podcast on Tuesday. So I have flexibility when it comes to Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week is pretty much busy. Sometimes Sundays, a little bit, but generally all day Monday, which is family day. Tuesday, I have a little leverage, but once Wednesday, I'm all into church mode. And so then, but I use, like I said, all my graphics. Like for blog posts, I can use Canva. I can produce those images quick. But any graphics, I outsource those. When it comes to laying out the books, I just produce the book. Then I send it to an editor. The editor makes it looks good. I make sure my voice is preserved. And then I don't touch it again. I just send it straight to the person who lays it out inside of the formats for, Kindle and all of these things. They send it back to me. and it's uploaded on Amazon. So you can outsource a lot of that. Let's just say real quick that he records all of his stuff. He can record his book, right? Then he can send his book to a transcriber. When the transcriber comes, gets the book back to him, he sends that to the editor. Once the editor is finished, he sends that to the layout artist. How much work did he do? All he had to do was record it.
Right. And you know, for people here, a lot of the pastors on here are preaching in series. All those series can be a book. You know, Myron's doing a wise series. Seth is doing a series on the gospel. You know, Donald has done a lot of series as well, and the others. You can take that, as you mentioned, send it to someone to transcribe, put it together, and you outsource stuff. So you don't have to do it all, but there's some stuff that you've already done that you can turn into a product.
Yes, that's exactly right. Right. Okay, we take two more, then I'll finish up this PowerPoint real quick. And then email. If you guys want to email, that's fine. I'm open with that. We can do another one, another webinar that might be more ideal for people, maybe in the afternoon or something when more folks might be thinking. I know you guys are trying to get your stuff done. So let's take something.
Curtis asked at the top.
Curtis, okay, what services do you recommend to outsource to? Okay, there's a gazillion. Just type in Google. Right? Google is your best friend. For videos, okay, well, Curtis, you do videos. So if people want to make videos, check Curtis right on this presentation here. For audio, for transcribing audio, I use a simple system called rev.com. They even have an app. You can speak into the app and just press a button and it goes straight to them. They get that turned around in a day. So, and there it's $1 a minute. There might be some cheaper ones, but again, they might not always be that good. But I've been using consistently only rev.com right now. Fiverr is another place. I never have a book cover design with Fiverr. I've tried with them, but Fiverr is another place. 99 Design is another place where you can get book covers designed and things like that. Outsourcing, what other services? Upwork. Upwork is a website where, I mean, you can find thousands of freelancers in anything. Like even for ministry project, guys, these are some of the things. If you don't have a secretary, man, I mean, you can use Upwork, Guru.com, Elance, which also became Upwork. But there are many sites out there, freelance.com. You can find a lot of people to do things for you. Let's see, for audio recordings, if you want somebody to edit your audios as well, you can go to fiverr.com and be able to get it done there. What other services? Yes, sir.
So we book books, we kind of understand the process of getting a book out. But let's talk about a course, an online course, or online, those trainings. Who are some of the services you've used to lay them out and to make them well packaged? Because the ones that I've seen that people sell well, Dave Ramsey and stuff, those things are well packaged, put together into, just the packaging and the layout of that, and even just the structure of how that's broken down. Kind of share a little bit about that.
And that's exactly why I like to start with a book, because the book helps you to get the framework out for the course. Because to me, a course is, I take the table of contents and that's my outline for the course. It's the very same thing you're teaching, just in a deeper level. Now, there are a lot of softwares. For example, I use Camtasia, which is for both Mac and PC. That allows you to record PowerPoint presentations and audios. I mean, it's great. You can take that now. Camtasia, Camtasia. Again, in my course, man, I have a list of all of these things. There's a ScreenFlow, which is just for Mac. That's very good for recording things as well. So most of those are the top two softwares that people use to be able to record and their videos and so forth. Here I have a mic. This is called the Blue Yeti mic. This is what I'm using here. There's another one I have over here for podcasting. If I can bring it in the screen here. That is the Rode Podcaster. So you can use that to record your audios, which is very good. And on my site, if you go to Strategic Secrets, that's store, I have all of those audio-visual stuff. Right in front of me, I have toolbox light. Over here, I have a green screen. Right, so right here, this is my home office. I do most of my training and stuff and videos right here. And so PowerPoints is easy. PowerPoints is the easiest way to record and screen share with you. So you can stand in front of a green screen and record your videos. If you're a church, get a little green screen, and then somebody who does the editing, they will put a nice background for you. But if you just want to do your screen where you're teaching from a PowerPoint, man, use your PowerPoint or Keynote, and you just use Camtasia or ScreenFlow, and you record the screen, just like how you guys were seeing my screen here, my voice, bam. Now, again, graphic design will be the same. You use those same people who does the book cover. All they need is the dimension. If you're going to produce a DVD, you give them the DVD dimension, or they will know the DVD dimensions, and they will design the cover for you, right? There's a cheap disc I guess replication company called disc.com, disk.com, and another one is called Kunaki, Kunaki, Kunaki.com, if you can type that in there. So Kunaki.com and disc.com, those are good places to get your stuff made. Okay. Yeah, ScreenFlow. Yeah, ScreenFlow is there. Camtasia, CAMTA, not P, CAMTASIA. That's by TechSmith.
CAMTASIA.
All right, one more question.
All right, anyone else? One last question before we end off with our last 10 minutes of presentation. Thank you. There was a question down below. I didn't see anyone dropping one up at the top, so I'm just going to grab one that we didn't cover. Do you ever sell webinars?
Webinars, no, but I should.
Yeah. No, but I'm wondering, just as a general practice, No,
I don't. But yeah, you can sell after the end of the webinars, but I don't. You can sell also to do the webinar. I have one of my customers in this book that I mentioned from Colombia. Actually, she sells all of her webinars, so you can pay people. People can pay to actually join the webinar. And so, but what I do though in my course, I create webinars for free, and of course, I add those webinars whenever I do them to the course area. So even this, I'm going to take out nuggets from here, and I'm going to post that in my course area as well.
Yeah. Myron might have gotten this question. Last question: am I wasting my voice on Facebook as I'm currently doing it? I'll answer that.
Oh yes. No, man. Oh yes. No. Honestly, I think you are especially in our faith group, Myron. I would say, brother, you are the only person I see effectively using stuff. What you want to do though is monetize it. But I think you are using Facebook masterfully. I mean, you had one post there, I think, of the attendance thing with attending church. That thing had over almost 700 comments. I've never seen that even from the GZ. So I think you're using it awesome. The thing, though, is monetization. Yeah. I think you need to connect it with monetization. So what you can do, especially even building your platform, send some of those people to sign up at your website. Mm-hmm. You know, always put a link in there or something like that. Even when you post the pictures or the background thing, like put your hashtag on top of it or your website on top of it, give them a subliminal message to kind of go to your website. But yeah. No, I think Myron you should give actually a webinar on actually how to use Facebook effectively when coming up with sermon titles and so forth. I think you're doing an awesome job.
But Chance, let me ask this then, just in question, in relation to Myron's question. He asks good questions. He creates dialogue. One of the things that you're saying is he can possibly lead people over to his website, tell them go to his website, and there'll be a blog on this. Sign up for my newsletter, where I'll be kind of going into answering and further teasing out these questions and getting people to now begin not just likes on Facebook, but now joining your newsletter. And through that newsletter, you begin sending out, hey, I wrote a devotional. Hey, I have a training course. And so you begin linking them from just being likes on Facebook, engage in a conversation, to now coming over onto your platform, your website, and getting linked into your newsletter and making sure you're putting content on your newsletter that relates to what you were just discussing on Facebook.
Exactly. Now, another way is even direct to the product. He can say, for example, the Y series that he's doing, now that he's gained so much engagement with, and by the way, Facebook loves engagement. All right. So let's say he were to do a sponsored ad that would rank better than just an ad that simply had a picture on there because he has engagement. But for example, the Y series, he can now, if he had those on DVDs or where people can even buy them with Vimeo Pro, just with streaming, you can just stream it. he can now go back to those posts and say, hey, by the way, guys, thank you guys for your posts, and I appreciate the feedback. Here's the link to buy the the series. They can go buy the series or something like that. Or in his case, because we ministry, a good way is always, people don't like to sell, but you can probably say a suggested donation, and it's the same thing. Tell them a suggested donation, and you can get the whole Y series package for XYZ.
Yeah. Good.
All right.
So take us out with the last 10 minutes of presentation. And as you share, kind of tell people how they can keep in contact with you, share your email address, etc.
Okay, so I'll do it all in one. And what I want you guys to do is just pay attention to even how I'm going to be sharing this next 10 minutes, because it's a strategy that you can use with your own things and connect your stuff with a cause. Okay. So again, like what Myron is doing, I know they're raising funds. So a lot of things that he do and produce, if he were able to connect that with raising money for the church building or the school project I think he's doing, more people will be able to apt to buy those kind of stuff. So pay attention to, again, because again, we taking our knowledge, expertise to be able to help fund our mission and message, right? So you always want to drop that in there of why you are charging X, Y, and Z. Okay. So let me pull this up.
All right. It's up, Chance.
All right. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just share with you. This is actually my online course, again, that is based on the book, right? So it's called Monetize Your Skills Academy, right? And it teaches you exactly how to leverage your education, expertise, and experiences, right? And so let me just go over here. Success leaves clues. This is the treasure map that every one of you guys need, right? Because let me give you an example now. I shared with you before all the big names. Let me show you some regular average people now who are monetizing their skills to the 6 and 7 figure level, right? This is Bob Lodick. Bob has a ministry called Seed Time, again, and this is in our space, ministry. He does similar to Dave Ramsey, but different, where he gives money advice. But notice how many followers that this guy has. Now, I interviewed him personally. He didn't share his full money, but of course, he's making 6 figures, because for me to interview for my project, you had to be making 6 figures or more. Here's another one, Sue Oyuela. Sue Oyuela uses Airbnb. She makes over $225,000 a year on Airbnb. Now, check this out. Since she's doing that, guess what? She wrote a book about it. Now she created an online course called the Vacation Rental Profit System, and she sells that course for over $1,000, right? So that's how she's doing that, right? Making 6 figures. Now, this is Josh Burrow. He's a CPA. His focus, his package now is dealing with mainly internet millionaires. So he provides his services primarily to internet millionaires. I interviewed him, and that's how I got in touch with John Lee Dumas. So many of you, I don't know if you've seen my podcast the other day or listened to it with John Lee Dumas, but that's how I got on John Lee Dumas's podcast, because I interviewed his CPA, and he said, by the way, the man you need to speak to is John Lee Dumas, right? So here's another one. She's from Texas right here, just up the street, Jamie Masters. Again, shares her business knowledge and advice. She has a book called The Eventual Millionaire. And guess what her website is called? The Eventual Millionaire. So she has a podcast that comes out every Monday. And the way she made her success was basically interviewing on her podcast. Hey, Kimon, that's her strategy. She primarily used her podcast to interview over 350 millionaires. And that's how she got blown up, right? But now, of course, she does coaching and consulting. People pay her 5 figures and more for that. Jam Kazam, this is for, again, it doesn't matter what your skill is. These 2 gentlemen are part of our faith community. Oswald Becker was a member of my first church that I had when I came to Texas in the Round Rock area. He was our head elder. They used their skills to create their own company. Now, GameStop a few years ago bought out their company that they started within about 2 years or so. And those guys became instant millionaires. Here you go. Now, when I was at that church, did we have a problem having money for evangelism? Absolutely not. Never had a problem, never had a worry about evangelism money, because the brother was able to leverage his skills and he was able to help fund a lot of our projects. Here's for the academics right here. Dr. Susan Pierce Thompson, she took her PhD and now she teaches people. She's no longer teaching really at the university because she has a bigger movement online. So she created an online course called Bright Line Eating. Obviously, she has a book that goes along with it as well. but she makes $2 million a year doing this, and she's scheduled to grow much faster. This one here, Bart Fields, MBA. This guy's a CPA. He's an online tutor. I'm giving you guys a lot of ideas. Online tutoring is another way. When I was taking my master's in project management, I needed help with a course, and that's how I found this brother. So he helped me out with his course, and then when I figure out what he's doing, I say, hey, you kind of doing the same thing I'm talking about. And so can I interview you? And so we interviewed, but he left his prestigious job at a major company. And if you want to read more of his story, it's in my book. So, but that's what he does. So he monetizes his skill through tutoring, and now he's also leveraging his skills by serving local business owners. Many of you may know this guy, Bob Cattell, memory expert. Again, turned his book into online course. And so that's what he's doing. But he also, this brother is a professional speaker. He has sold millions of dollars from the stage in just a few hours. So that's Bob. Now, this other lady here, you might have seen on Shark Tank, right? April Yvette. She was making $9 an hour, guys, as a single parent. Now she made over, $9 million bucks. This lady leverages her knowledge. She created a product too, by the way, called Thin Gloss, right? That's why she was on Shark Tank. But God gave her this idea to create a thin gloss for lipstick to help people with their weight. Interesting, but she did it. And so she has speaking, she has training, she has videos and all of that. This lady did the foreword for my book. She's an RN, right? She's an RN, and I'm part of a mastermind group where we pay $12,000 to be in that group. Now, this lady, check this out. She runs 2 e-commerce stores, right? And she was not getting any traffic. She learned how to use Instagram, guys, to create traffic, and within just a few, weeks, she made $31,000. All right, so that's somebody. You find her on Facebook, Rosalie Makinet. Right. So are you leaving money on the table? I want to help you guys out. For those who want to go deeper, for those who want to try it out, I want to let you know that, I can help you create your stuff. So my course, this is the layout of my course, right? It's it's a 7-part course, and it teaches many different things. You're going to learn the paradigm shift. You're going to learn from different people who are doing it effectively, listen to their interviews, their videos, their podcasts, and so forth. And that will help you out. So this is the 7 steps that take you through how to discover, define, design, deliver, diagnose, distinguish, and deploy. That's the framework for making a 6- and 7-figure income. These are some of the bonuses that you'll get in the online course. You have millionaire experts interviews. You have webinars. On the webinars, for example, one of the webinars, how to write a book, how to do a course, same questions you guys will ask it, what tools and so forth to use, right? And all of that. Plus, you get free copies of all my books as well in there, as well, also some 6-figure careers for those who you might want to leverage your skills in a different way, or teach some of your members. They can get into some of these things, and some of them are 6-figure skills. Not that you have to go to school to get those things, but you can learn, for example, Facebook advertising and copywriting and so forth. Those are skills that will pay 6 figures, and you don't need to spend years in school for them. Also, I just added this new bonus. Again, I'm going to show you a young lady that in 100 days, I'm helping people to produce their book or a course. You got to pick one, and we will help you. Okay? You have access to me at any time. Ask any questions, and we will be able to help you work through. Also, getting through the mental and spiritual barriers, because I know that's what holds a lot of us back, because we have a lot of hang-ups on different things, and we are not freeing ourselves and our talents to bless humanity. So this is a 1997 offer. So all of these are worth over $6,000. Okay. Now, how much can you invest today? We're not going to charge you this course. By the end of the year, I'm taking this course to be, a $1,000 course. But for now, you guys can simply go to this website, Monetize Your Skills /faith edition, and you will only pay $497. I'm not going to have this price there forever. It's going to keep going up, right? But right now, it's just at $497, which is half the $999 price that I'm going to be charging, okay? So if you want to take advantage of this, go there now and be able to get into that. So let me just show you something. So these are some of the folks that I've helped and encouraged and worked with and so forth. So right on the left-hand side here, you have John Gustav, right? He runs a blog on marriage, and I spoke with him a few months ago, and I'm like, hey, John, you're doing a good stuff. I love what you have, but you need to distinguish yourself. You need a book. Bam. He said, how long it's got to be? Somebody asked the question. I said, make it as short as you can, but get it out there. And he did. And he went, and now he has a book on Amazon. It's called Healing Through Marriage. And now he can use that. Okay. We also have, this is a local physician that I've worked with, help her out. Bam. She has several books out. This is one of our top stories here. She published her book she wrote her book in 6 days using my system. Then in less than 2 months, her book was published, taken to #1 Amazon bestseller, and now we're converting them into online courses, right? When I was in Alabama, this is a young lady there, the first person to break my own record in writing a book. She did in 2 weeks at that time, before I had done my 2 and 3 weeks and a day. But Karen Malloy, she has her book. She's a coach as well, and she is able to do her thing. Many of you know Torres Montgomery, Set on Fire. Well, Torres doesn't just have a book. Torres's book, now he has clothing stuff with it. That's what we're talking about, a business system. He has clothing, and now he's speaking. It's opening opportunities for him to speak and raise funds at the same time. Now, the newest person that I'm helping here, this is Torres' stuff. This is what we call a business, not just publishing the book. See, the book itself is not what makes you money, is what you add to the book, i.e. speaking engagement, coaching, consulting, courses. That's what makes the most money. So I don't really use the book itself just to sell a whole ton of books, although I know Torres have sold over 1,000 books. But my purpose is to get people into the other things that I'm offering. So here's one of the books that we produced for this doctor. Let me show you. Those who want the system, let me show you an example here. She's already, of course, successful doing her thing. We don't like to interrupt people's business, but we created this book and said, what else can you offer your clients? We helped her come up with the title and everything. There's strategies on creating titles as well. So we took this, and so, for example, if she sold 300, she has, a lot of patients in the thousands, but if only 300 of them bought just a DVD set from her, that's 17,000. If they get on her monthly subscription program now with her course, and plus she has these monthly supplements that people can take, again, $29.95 or $30 a month, that's a 6 figures right there. You see what I'm saying? Online course, again, if she sells to 300 of her patient at that price, that's a 6-figure income right there. So even if you took a whole year to do that, hey, you're still making a 6-figure income. Now meet Erica. Erica got into, when I opened this course in April for the spring, she got into the course, and now she has a book published. Now we're going to turn it into a course. I'm going to share with you, please, if you don't miss anything else, please let it not be this. You need to know this is what I want you to have and embedded in your mind. Even if you don't take action now, this is what you can do. So Erica, again, came from scratch. Didn't even know she needed a book. We talked to her, coached her. Now she has a book called Online Profit Secrets. Now, with this book, we already are planning for her, part of her launch, to do a seminar in, I think, September. We're planning a seminar, and this is going to be the topic. It's going to be Online Profit Mastery. So she's going to be one of the speakers there. Now she has her book. She can be able to help people now get into her course and her coaching program. So this is the model. Okay, are you guys ready? So your book is the front end, right? This is where you can use it as a lead generator, educate people. You can do it for free. People can download it, or you can have free plus shipping and handling, or you can charge 99 cents to $12.99, right? That's the front end. But then more people want to go deeper. So they can take the online or home study course, which you can charge now more money than simply a $12 book, or if it's a hardcover, maybe 20 something bucks. But now think about, if people want to buy a course, they can get it for $100 to $500 or even $1,000, right? Then you upscale from there. Coaching, $1,000, $2,000, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then now some people want done for you or done with you services. This is where you can help them to do different things. So, example, if you want to help a young pastors learn how to preach effectively, you can actually coach them and train them, right? They can use some of their career enrichment funds to be able to do that, right? So you help them out with that, and then you do seminars, you do speaking events, and all of that. You can do your membership sites like I have as well, in-person coaching. You can do by months, weekdays, whatever you want to do. And then now, this is how you grow it big time. Now, for some of you, for example, you don't have a course. You can promote my courses and get a commission for that. You can hire other people and have them do the same thing and give them monies to help sell your products. your coaching programs. They can do the work for you while you're busy, right? So, and you give a commission. Now that's multiple people now selling and leveraging your stuff. That's the big way. So once you have this system or roadmap in place, then all you got to do focus now is driving traffic through your website, through ads, through speaking engagement. All of this now is just a cycle that repeats itself over and over again. So again, you have two options today. Here's one. One, I want you to get in the course. Again, it's a big discounted course. There are a lot of bonuses, right? You can get in for $497 today. Now you say, oh, Pastor, why are you charging? Listen, guys, I've spent a lot of work, my time, my energies, and so forth in this stuff. And again, remember, it's to monetize your skills to sustain your mission. Now, I have 3 projects that I'm working on right now that you will be able to help. So for every person who buys this course, I'm going to be donating 25%, okay, to 2 ministries. One is I have a head elder who is just retiring. And before he was retiring, I told him you need to have a ministry set up because he wanted to do ministry full time. So we started a ministry called 3D Ministries. And so that's his ministry. It's already up. We're going to be filing the IRS 501c3 part, but it's already registered at the federal and state level. And so 25% will go to those causes. Another one is I have a colleague of mine that is going to a mission trip in Senegal. And so we want to be able to help raise some monies for that. And so again, if you guys purchase this course, you see the win-win, three ways of winning. You get the knowledge and the how-to. I be able to fund these projects. So everybody wins. And then the recipients who are receiving it for free, they are able to benefit as well. So 25% of whatever, if anyone gets into this course today, will be going to 3D Ministries and the Senegal mission trip. I've also enrolled into a doctoral program just yesterday, another one. And so I don't take loans and those type of stuff. Again, so that's why I'm doing and leveraging, because I always self-pay my way through these kind of things. So that's another thing that I'm saying. So that's why I do have to charge for some of my services, and they're not free to create these things, guys. But I'm willing to share my time and so forth with you. You have access to me. Ask me any question. 100 days. We can help connect you with editors and graphic artists and all the kind of things that you need to get your stuff done. But we can get it done in one full 100 days. Okay. For those who can't pay the full pay right now, okay, you can do 2 pay. I have a 2 pay option on there. Go to monetizeskills.com/faith edition. That's especially just for people on this, right? We have a business edition and an academic edition as well. All right. So voila. That's about it. Go now to Faith Edition, okay, monetize your skill /faith-edition, and you will be able to see which option you want to do. And again, by enrolling, you are also helping yourself, and you are helping people who will hear your message, and also you will help 2 ministries out to be able to do their thing. Okay, so that's about it for now. Let me show you one video before I leave of someone who is satisfied. It's a quick 2-minute video.
All right, thanks, man, for doing this for us, and we appreciate the resource that you provided here at the end. So go ahead and play the video when you're ready.
Hello, this is Dr. Cooper Dockery. I'm board certified in internal medicine, and I'm also a member of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. I have been practicing medicine for over 25 years. However, over the last several years, I have focused my attention in educating my patients using lifestyle modification to take charge of their health. Many of my patients have reduced medication or gotten off medication entirely. Some have reversed chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension. It has then become my dream to put my message into a book so more people would have the opportunity that will enable them to get healthy for life. So on November 16 last year, I watched a promotional video by R.L. Chance, the founder of Strategic Secret. I took his course. I took another course where he indicated that you can write a book in a week, in 2 weeks, in 7 weeks, and so forth. So I took him on the challenge, and I got busy working, and in 6 days I called him. I said, hey, I have the book. Then he asked, has the manuscript been edited? I replied, no. He then said, you really have a book when the manuscript is edited. He guided me through the editorial and the publishing processes. and within 2 weeks, my book was ready. The best part of my story is that within 6 weeks of my initial encounter with R.L. Chance, my book was written, published, and became the #1 bestseller. Strategic Secrets gave me the tool and valuable strategies that I needed to accomplish my dream. So I want to give a shout out to this magical team. And if you have a message that you'd like to share, please call R.L. Chance and his team, and they will assist you in turning your dream into a reality.